Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And my brothers and sisters, the Israelis have crashed the servers to get gun permits. This is something that we've been following since this crisis began. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to show you how this is transpiring towards freedom rather quickly, and it's escalating just as quickly. Now, of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, and leave a comment down there so I can hear what you guys think on this one, because I think you'll find this fascinating to say the least. But, my brothers and sisters, we have been hitting on this evolution of necessity for freedom in the gun world in Israel, and relating to Israel, for the past couple of days. So Tim and I have done some stuff on Second Legacy. I've touched on it here. Well, first they start off with relaxing the gun permits for pistols, and they doubled the amount of 50 bullets to 100 bullets that civilians could own. Then the next day, 24 hours later, they started handing out 10,000 rifles to standing militias to patrol their own communities. And now today, Israelis have crashed the servers. They still can't get this stuff. So if there's not more of a reason for a Second Amendment to be active and strong in a community for when you need it and you may, or excuse me, when you have it and you may not need it versus when you need it and you don't have it, I don't know if there's a stronger argument. Check this out. Israelis pressure government to loosen restrictive gun laws amid the Hamas war. It's a pity it came to this. Now, we talked about all the other things they've done, but listen to what Gun Owners of America put out on their Twitter feed today. It is a temporarily not possible to fill out the form. Please try again later. We apologize for the inconvenience. You know, call me crazy, but in the current situation that they find themselves in, I'm pretty sure a sorry for the inconvenience little landing page because the server was crashed because people are that desperate for freedom and protecting themselves and their families, it ain't gonna cut it. In fact, look at these numbers because, again, this is all evidence of why we must have a free population, standing militia with the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. Because you know what's really interesting that you haven't heard a lot about? You haven't heard a lot from gun controllers talking for common sense gun reform recently, have you? No, you haven't, because they've gone underground because it blows their point apart. Anyway, let's continue. More on that later. Israeli citizens are urging the government to loosen the country's restrictive gun laws in the harrowing aftermath of the attack that killed 1,200 Israelis. Israeli residents are signing petitions pressuring the government to allow them to take up personal arms as Israel prepares for a ground invasion of Gaza. They're pressuring with petitions. Keep that in mind. Here in the United States, we would have a standing army immediately because we have the right to keep and bear arms. We are proficient. We are prepared. We are armed. There's no logistics that need to happen. Where you want us, we got you, boo. That's the entire point. Imagine if this country or Ukraine or any other example that you want had a standing militia with a Second Amendment right similar to ours. It's all fun and games and gun safety for everybody until you need it and you can't get them out to the people to stand up to a threat. That's the whole point here, what we preach every single day. But let's continue. Firearm licensing in Israel is a point of contention in the country and has been regarded as excessively stringent for civilians. But activists say the events that transpired in the last week and the traumatic images of Hamas terrorists brutally murdering Israeli civilians in their homes should be cause to immediately loosen restrictions. Sounds about right. All right. Firearm licenses for private citizens in Israel are typically only granted to individuals who can prove the need for extra security in their line of work or daily life. Does that sound like New York, the Bruin decision? Does that sound like just cause? Because that's what it sounds like to me. The Bruin decision here in the United States struck this exact same thing down in New York City, which then transferred to all the other gun control states. That's why we have sensitive places battle that we're fighting now. It's the exact same thing. It all ends the exact same way. Gun control does not work, and you cannot make it in place when you need it when there's a crisis. Let's continue, though. Let's just say, quote, "There are terror attacks in both places," he told the outlet, adding that it's a pity that it took a devastating terror attack to wake up the country to the importance of personal protection for private citizens. "I have been involved with groups that have been talking about this issue for years. During calm times, people don't do anything." Exactly. That's why we have gun safes. That's why we have Second Amendment items inside said gun safes. Probably not Liberty gun safes. Ayo. But the entire point here is we're ready if we need them because freedom is a hair's breadth away. It's important to understand that it can be lost. We're experiencing this in multiple regions of the world, and now the Israelis are trying to form petitions and go to websites and get a landing page and say, sorry for the inconvenience. We're a little bit beyond inconvenience. Let me show you these numbers. Oh, let's see here. An online petition that was created garnered 8,000 signatures in 24 hours, the outlet reported. A separate online petition, which calls for the Israeli government to grant a permit to carry a private weapon for anyone who has served in the IDF and has no criminal record, has gathered close to 22,000 digital signatures in 3 days. The population of Israel wants to defend themselves, and they're stuck behind a firewall that is inconvenienced because the server crashed because too many people wanted to do it. Gun control is preventing the population from protecting themselves. Zoom out, go into your own life. Imagine the difference that if this exact same scenario happened here, what the outcome would be. We have the items, we have the ammunition, we have the knowledge, we have the training. That's the point. We are a free populace, and that's incredibly important to understand. And a lot of people around the world are learning that lesson real hard, and inconvenience ain't gonna cut it when you need it. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.